Hey, it's Adrian, and today I'm taking a look at this Palm LED video light from Tolifo. Now this video is a bit dark. It could definitely use with a little bit of brightness, and because I can remotely control this using their Link Light app, I can do that in about a second without having to worry about running any type of wiring. So this just adds a ton of versatility to whatever you're shooting, whether it be a video or any type of product photography, since you have continuous lighting. And because there's no connected wiring, you can kind of move this around at will wherever you like to modify lighting. On top of that, you can go from 2700K to 6500K. You also have full RGB settings, and the built-in battery offers great battery life with fast charging with the option to also run this in wired mode. There's also a ton of light effects and of course app control. So if all of this sounds good to you, let's take a closer look at how well it performs, and a big thanks to Tolifo for sending us out for a review. In the box, we have the Tolifo Palm LED video light. We also have a mount which doubles as a grip, a cone reflector attachment along with a gel cap for it, warranty card, instruction manual, and app manual, along with a USB Type-C to Type-C cable. There's also a handy hard shell zippered pouch that you could use to store the lights and all the accessories. So the Tolifo Palm LED light is pretty accurate, so it fits in the palm of my hands, not too big, and it's actually not too heavy as well considering what you get. So this comes in at around 846 grams, which works out to about 1.8 pounds. Now if you add in the cone reflector here, along with the silicone diffuser here to soften the light, and the handheld grip, well, it comes into around 1,030 grams or so, or about 2.2 pounds. So this makes it very lightweight and portable, because you can just go ahead and just kind of mount this stationary, or if you use the supplied hand grip, you can just move this wherever you need light, so it's very dynamic and portable. So the front of the light is where we have the bicolor and RGB lighting, and you can see we have an area here that interfaces with this kind of mini Bowen style mount. So that clicks into place, and that's a very secure fit, not going anywhere. And then once you want to release it, you're just going to pull back on this retention clip here, rotate it out. Very simple to operate. At the bottom, this is where we have the thread mount to go ahead and mount this to a C-stand or a tripod, for example. And then it looks like we have ventilation here along with a fan to keep everything nice and cool. And we also have a power button here, a power port if you do want to continuously power this. Now it doesn't come with that in the box, so this is something you'll have to buy additionally. Then we have the USB Type-C port here to just kind of charge this up for portable use. And we also have ventilation areas at the top to keep this nice and cool. And I'll let you know exactly how I find it in terms of when this fan kicks in. Let me power it on so we can take a look at the display here. So right now it says 10, it shows the battery life. And we have knobs with hard stop increments here to make it really easy to control light output on the fly. And you can see that's very handy, and you could just scroll up, or rotate this. Now if you click in, we'll go from 0, 25, 50, 75, so 25% increments, which is really handy. And then we have a knob here again to change colors, the color temperature from 2700K to 6500K, and also to change effects and so on. And then we also have buttons, so an HSL button, max button here. We also have, looks like a fan button and possibly Bluetooth right here. And then the effects button, and you could cycle through different type of effects. So very easy to operate. Let me go ahead and add the optional hand grip. So you can see there's a little nodule or protrusion here on the grip, and that's gonna interface with this opening right here. So just line that up, and then you're just going to use this knob right here to tighten everything up securely. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so it's nicely mounted now, and I can easily just use this kind of handheld. And of course you have a knob here to lock it into whatever position you like. And once you have it in position, the grip does have actually a textured area for, kind of easy holding, so your hands is not going to get fatigued. And then you can also go ahead and add this to a C-stand or any other type of compatible mount. So yeah, pretty awesome little light here. I've removed the ball head from my tripod, and now I can go ahead and thread in the mount at the bottom here directly to my tripod. So I'll just go ahead and rotate that onto place, just like so. And just like that, you could go ahead and easily mount the Tolifo light wherever you need to. So here's what everything normally looks like with all of my lighting going on. And I'm now going to turn on the Palm LED video light to show how it'll kind of fill in the shadow areas on my face and the room in general. So here is the light on, and you can see that really helps enhance the lighting in here. You know, it was already pretty good to start with, but just having this additional, kind of accent or supplemental lighting really helps tie everything together. Really quickly again, so this is with the Tolifo light on, off, and you can see just what a huge difference this very small and compact light is making to the overall scene. And of course you have some light modifiers in the zipper pouch to help you soften or dim the lighting as you see fit. So right now I'm on a warmer color temperature. I could jump over into color and just kind of cycle through the colors at will. And really interestingly is we have these type of gel effects where you can pick different type of gel filter looks, which is really neat, and it can just really enhance your lighting. And here's just how much illumination one single Palm LED video light can provide. So there's no other type of lighting going on in this room. So I'm going to cut this all the way to 0. So we have almost a dark room with only, that LED light strip going on and that little monitor in the back. I'm going to bump this up to about, say, 51%. And you can see the entire room is now, much better illuminated, and then now at 100% on the max setting, and it's basically, almost fully illuminated. Right now you're seeing this glowing or cascading type of RGB effect. So I use 2 large LED lights that are wired for continuous power to accomplish this. But I'm going to now cut those lights off and just use the Tolifo light with the RGB setting in one of the effect modes to show how it can kind of do the same job. And here's what the Tolifo light looks like. So at 100% brightness, you can see it mimics that same type of cascading or fading RGB effect. Now I've only positioned it right dead in the center just to demo it. But of course, if you add 2 lights, you could kind of balance it out like to simulate the 2 lights that I had. The battery life is going to be dependent on the light intensity that you use. So I tested it a couple different ways. So if I max out the brightness, now you could max it out even more by hitting this max button, and you can see when I hit it, it's going to boost the light even more, and it's going to flash letting you know it's in max mode. So I had 41 minutes of runtime with max mode on. At 100% without max mode on, I had an hour of 13 minutes. I also tested it at 75%. I had an hour and 40 minutes. And then I tested it at 50%, and I had an impressive 2 hours and 36 minutes, and that was at 5600K. And every time I let the battery run to 0, the light just cut off, and to fully charge it back using a 45-watt charger, it took me about 3.5 hours to go from 0 to 100%. By the way, you can also continuously power the light using a plug-in adapter. Now, one didn't come in my package, but you can buy an optional one from Tolifo if you like, or if you have one lying around like I did, you could just use that as long as it meets the power requirements. Pairing the Palm LED light with the Link Light app is super easy. You're just going to turn the light on, put it into Bluetooth mode, click Add Device in the Link Light app, and follow the steps until it's added. Let's take a look at the Link Light app settings. Now, the Link Light app is optional. You do not have to get it to get full functionality out of the light, but I highly recommend downloading it. It's very worth it. Now, once you open it up, you can see we have the power button right here, so you could quickly toggle the light on or off. And if you tap into the light, you go into the full settings. So right away, you can cycle through, different preset color temperatures. And if you're not a fan of any of these presets, you can see I can put it to the 4900, go ahead and add it as one of the preset options on here. Now you can also change the magenta green shift on this slider here, and then you could also change the brightness intensity. So as low as say 1% all the way up to 100%. But for this demonstration, I think I'll leave it at around say 51%. Now, the next thing we could do is we could go into setting a delay light off. So the light's going to turn off after this countdown. Helpful if you're doing something like a time lapse or something like that. And then we can also go into music mode here. And it actually says that based on the microphone, pickup from the phone, it's actually going to adjust the lights, which you could see in real time. It could do this for game as well. And this romantic mode here, again, and it's just going to be, more of this type of reddish, pinkish colors. So yeah, really handy. I'll put it back to 5600K. And then let's go into the next setting, which is color. Now in color, again, we have preset colors at the top, but you can also drag the slider wherever you like. So let's go to this type of dark blue color. You You can also change the hue of that, and of course the saturation of the color. So yeah, really quick, you can see, to fine tune and dial in versus using knobs. And again, you could change the intensity as well. So yeah, really handy to use. And then and again, you can add in, your own custom colors if you like. If we go into gel, this is pretty interesting. So they have is broken down into Lee and Roscoe. So you could just go ahead and tap, and it's just gonna mimic those type of light outputs. So really handy to have if you're going for a particular look. Now we can go into Cinelux here and then into color as well. So really a ton of options on here. Now, if we go into effect, just a warning for anyone who suffers from very fast and flashing lights. Fair warning, maybe skip ahead to this part, but I'll just demo some of the light effects. So if I go into pulse, you can see it's pulsing the light, and you could set it to a slow pulse at 1 speed or all the way up to 9. And I'll just put it back to say 4. We also have the RGB loop. Could set it to 1 or all the way to 9, where it's just going to cycle through the colors. Same with disco. Disco is another good color. Now, fair warning, seizure warning. I'm going to put it on welding. It's going to be crazy at speed 9. And yeah, that's very quick. So you could see just a ton of light effects, and of course you could change the intensity as well. So yeah, full featured in the Link Light app. Highly recommend getting it. Now there is also a scene tab. You can go ahead and create scenes. So tap to run. So if, and then you could have then conditions. Not something I'm really going to use, but it is there if you want to go through to have the light rate respond to say weather changes, to turn on at certain times, etc. I have the lights at 100% with the max mode turned on, so it's flashing right there, and the fans have kicked in. However, it's not overly loud, and I think if you have your microphone about, say, 2 to 3 feet or more away, you won't even pick it up. But here's a demo. I'm going to bring the microphone, and I would say this is maybe about 12 inches, 10 to 12 inches away. Four to 5 inches. Directly over top. About 6 inches. 12 inches away. And about 2 feet away. Here's a quick look at some of the specs. Feel free to pause or jump ahead to the next section. So, can I recommend the Tolifo Palm LED video light? And it is such an easy recommendation for me because while I already have a lot of lighting in this room, I've actually cut 2 really large LED lights that I use to just bounce light off of the ceiling, and those are always powered in. And this one palm-sized video light is kind of doing the job of both of those, just kind of bouncing and brightening up this entire space. So if you're someone who's always on the go, I'm thinking like maybe for a travel vlogger, or someone who just needs to be on the move all the time, this one compact light can really add to your setup, and it doesn't add a lot of weight or room in your bag. And of course you can add more of these and connect them to the Link Light app, so you have remote control of each of them independently. So if you'd love to take your lighting from something like this to something like this in as little as a second from the comfort of your phone, I'm going to leave some links down below to learn more about the Tolifo Palm LED video light, or to pick one up for yourself, and I'll also leave a coupon code down below for an additional discount. By the way, don't forget to check out some of my other tech review videos. I review a bunch of different tech on this channel, and I'm sure you're going to find something that you like. And if I can ask a huge favor, would you mind liking it and subscribing? It truly does help me out as a growing channel, and I'll see you in the next one soon.